Yeah, yeah. Everybody, bear with us. We're just starting this out and trying to figure all the technology out at the same time. At least I am, anyway.
Even in the industry, me being old school per se, 32 years on the road with no cell phone, no mobiles. Back in days, it was challenging just to navigate and go from West Coast to East Coast with nothing but your handle and the tools and the parts you had in your truck. Uh, but I just realized, just for what you said, that we spend so much time inside our truck that we don't really get to come out and play as much as we would like to. But it's a good thing in a way if you invest the time wisely. But at the same time, we're kind of disconnected from the world, and gadgets or technology is something that I am very poor on. I managed to just continue to do what I have to do, but I'm not tech friendly. So so my respects to you, Chris. So me for myself, thank you for what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the best that I can. You know, we're trying to get drivers together to actually fight back against all this, the fraud, the unfair practices, and all of it. Because I could tell you right now, the mega carriers, the brokers, the TIA, ATA, OWIDA, they're all working together against us independents and small carriers. They're working against us. And we need to come together and actually fight back if we're going to survive. That's how I see it.
And I believe after the regulation from the 80s, I believe that investors saw the doors wide open and they put a good bunch of money into trying to capitalize in the open market. And I believe that that's what happens now. Great investors with tons of money trying to manipulate the market. One of the examples I can use on that is they always screaming driver shortage.
Mm-hmm.
And even in through the recessions, even from the bloodbath, what was it, 2009, and even now, I would not be surprised if I still hear driver shortage, but it's not a driver shortage. It's always been the shortage of respecting and valuing a true driver with the proper experience behind the wheel. So to me, this is something that is happening through lobbying. Why does the government or mega carriers always screaming driver shortage when we're losing good drivers due to emissions, due to e-logs? So there has not been a driver shortage, to my opinion. It's only shortage of respect and the worth of a driver with the experience that comes along with it.
Yeah. And what do they always say? Why the rates are lower? Too much capacity, but there's not enough drivers. How is there too much capacity, but not enough drivers? Think about it.
But I believe that you have a driver shortage when you have 100 parked trucks there, but that's only through the mega carriers because they can fill their seats.
Yep. Yeah, because they want to treat their drivers like crap. No one wants to work for them.
It's also a lot of deceit. I was talking to a driver of mine, and he's like, "Hey, I read that they paying this and they offer all this," and I said, "You know what? you just don't understand the market, because right now so many have lost their jobs, and right now, since the market's a little tight, if we're still paying you the same, even though we're not getting the same, think about that, and we do it just to have respect for you and to value you, even if we are going through rough times.
Yeah.
So I had a few guys that we never been big. We only had 14, 14 trucks, but some of them had left and came back. And I asked what happened. They said, well, they promised me the stars, the moon, and the sky. And when I finally got to the company, started working, they gave me a bunch of excuses why I was not making what they promised me. So that's what you kind of learn through the process, right?
Yep. So yeah, I'm still trying to get things like loaded up. If you guys check the jumbotron, I'm trying to get stuff added in, or even if you go to the bubble.
Yeah. Yeah, we're still waiting for you. I believe most of us are still here waiting for you. So that's why I'm throwing some of these comments out here, just to have some to think about.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
One of the biggest things that I see with this transparency clause that they have with this regulation here, I can only imagine the impact if we're starting with TQL, uh, the impact of the industry. What is it going to do? Because man, it is so challenging to know. I actually last week I had a shipper that moved stuff for what is this company? Uh, Let me think of this company. I pull a lot of their product. Uh, but anyways, I'll think of the name right now. But it's a major distributor here from the West Coast in California. Move a lot of their product. And he called me. He says, "Hey, what's going on with the industry?" I had two drivers last week showed up with double brokerage. I'm a little concerned because I caught a guy that didn't even have a valid pickup number. So the shippers are getting affected by it as well. So he was so concerned that he asked me if I could help him create an app to eliminate that. And I said, look, we have a lot of movement going on because we're all affected by it. So believe me that there's a lot of people involved in this and trying to work in how to get rid of it. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's us. I think it is the government, the way the structure is. So it's very treacherous. The industry is very treacherous, very dangerous right now. I can say for my experience that I have never had a load not being paid for, but I might have one that I have to dispute and have to investigate, because we had a load for $4,200 that somebody went ahead and did exactly what this person did, using a fake profile and a different the same MC number, company's name, everything was the same except the email. So they're they hadn't paid the factory that I collected from. So I'm gonna investigate, because I barely found out about it this Friday. So hopefully I won't have to go through the lost margins, but it affects everybody. So I'm glad that we try to work together here to try to figure things out, because I believe the government has opened the doors too wide for anybody to come in and hurt us carriers.
Yeah, and it's only getting worse. Me and Michael actually came across some new info that we're going to be coming out with later. We got to do a little bit more research on it first. But
You know,
yeah, it's going. If it's what we think it is, it's actually going to hurt the carriers even more.
yeah.
Even the
I
mega,
don't.
it'll even hurt the mega carriers.
Wow. You know,
So,
I'm gonna share some with you guys. I'm working with somebody that is trying to create an application to unite all these issues all in one. They're willing to invest a lot of money into it. It's kind of a formula that will eliminate all this, right? Like, for example, we had a host last week creating an app for parking. We have MAFLAB creating an app for saving on diesel.
yeah.
Uh, there's a lot of apps out there, like also the load boards, just two major ones out there, apps for that. But I was talking to somebody that wants to create one app to cover all these apps. So they have money to do it. So they have Silicon Valley out there willing to create an app. Uh, they were talking to me 2 weeks ago about this, so I can't really disclose all this information because they're serious about it. But
Hmm.
so right now, I'm just mentioning it because the government is not helping. The government is not fixing these things, and it's getting way out of hand, where it's affecting the whole industry as a whole.
Am I back now? Uh, okay. It went off my headset for a minute. So, okay, I think I got everything uploaded that I was going to have in the Jumbotron. So, if everybody wants to check that out, I'd appreciate it. It's all on the transparency. There's even a video in there of Anik Vivian on TikTok. I believe that's her last name. Might have butchered that. And if I did, I apologize. But um, she actually goes into actual detail of why we actually need transparency, even though she doesn't realize she's doing it. But with her explanation of why regulations are the way that they are, and with BOLs and all that payments, yeah. So, um, yeah, check that video out. Uh, there's actually definition of what a broker's responsibility is. Um, yeah, and what a motor carrier, actually, the definition of a motor carrier. Um, and then the actual regulation on the transparency, because it is law. It's a regulation now. It's just not being. Sorry, I got had a phone call come through, but um, yeah, the regulation's already there. It's just not being enforced. They have reopened the comment section for the transparency, we're trying to get everybody to go over there and make a comment on the transparency issue. Um, because if we don't get transparency, they're going to get control. They don't want transparency coming out because we would actually see the liability in the load, who's involved in the load, and whether it's fraudulent or not. Transparency actually helps prevent the fraud. And I don't know why Michael is not in here. Really, this is his topic. But let's go ahead and go to the hands. Oh, there's Michael. Let's see if Michael's got any input. Where'd he go now? Jesus. Anyways.
You know,
Yeah.
just to say something about it, I know transparency is something when you're using like the load boards or brokers, you know, just a reminder. I know when I first started, I didn't even know what load boards were. I didn't know what factoring companies were for many years because the old way of doing business, before you got into a truck, you you will get an account first, whether you lived around a company, a manufacturing company, or whether you had a friend or a family member already in the trucking industry. So the way I started is by being a driver working for somebody and then finding myself an account. Once I found my account hauling sand in a flatbed, I was able to borrow some money to purchase a truck, get my authority, and started working hauling sand, and then from sand to tile, and from tile asphalt in bags. So to me, that was the old school way, and I did this for the first 10 years. So I never knew about brokers, and I didn't know about factoring. So I did not know this mess. So the problem with having a direct account is when you go through bankruptcy, because sometimes this direct accounts will pay you in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. So if you had invested maybe $10,000, $15,000 in fuel, and you had them in invoices, these companies will fold. They declare themselves bankrupt, and you can go to court and try to get some assets from that. But that was the only dangerous thing about it. But I never had that happen to me. But that was the old school way of doing things. We didn't know about brokers. I still recommend new business owners to do it that way, because most of them that are coming to the industry, they're doing it the new way, getting a load board, getting their friends or their wife or whoever it is to dispatch them, and that's all they know. So to me, I like some of the old school drivers because uh, at least if you have two views, right? The old school way and the new way. At least you know two ways to succeed out there, not just that one. So to me, I like American. That one time that he says, "Well, I don't have a lot to share, or I don't want to," but no, there is a lot of wealth in old school as well as in new school, because when you combine them all together, you have more doors open to compete out there in the industry. Another way that I found out that it might help you as a carrier is to have different equipment. Me myself, I have a reefer flatbed drive-in. So when there's a lane that is closing, just because you drive a flatbed does not mean that you cannot jump into a reefer and get reefer loads until that lane kind of comes back up. So those things you kind of learn through the years, just so you don't have to shut down. Uh, so I just want to mention these things until you get this going.
So what do you got on the topic pastime before we go to the hands?
Well, I mean, it's open for comment. I mean, people need to go comment. If they don't comment, then they can't say they ever tried, and they can't bitch about it. My dad once told me, if you don't vote, you can't bitch about who's president. If you don't comment, you can't bitch about the way you're going to be treated. And believe me, you're going to be treated that way. Oh. Right now, I'm kind of busy. I decided to get out of the industry entirely and park my truck and close my MC and all that shit. And many more are doing the same thing. And in my personal opinion, from what I've been looking at, I don't think there's enough trucks in the industry anymore to actually cover the loads that are going to be available here pretty quick. I've already heard shippers saying that they can't find trucks. They don't know where all the trucks went. Well, I know where they fucking went. Let's see. I got to do paperwork so I can get out of here.
Okay, if anyone wants a mic, just request. Yeah, there's a lot of carriers that went out of business, closed down, broke down, had to shut the doors. However you want to look at it, but um, everybody wants to say that it doesn't matter what the brokers make, which to a point it doesn't. But the problem is they're being greedy. When you're taking 40, 50, 60% of a load, that's just greed. That's taking advantage of the whole industry.
Well, at least it gives you a good option to know that they're not working with you fairly, right? Like me, I think like the principle of business is if you're relying on a broker to succeed, you might as well don't open your shop. I believe that my way of thinking is brokers back then were only used to uh, bring something back, right? Like me, for example, when I first started hauling produce into the East Coast, I didn't know no East Coast. I had no context over there. So the way out for me was to bring something straight back from the East Coast, right? Let's say Boston, for example, the Bronx, right? They had big produce markets over there. So me not having any contacts from there, I had to use the broker. But even in brokerage, it can be very, very dangerous too, because if you have a load to take over there, you make your money with the load going out. But then to get back to this lows, you have to bring some back. And I remember back then, maybe like 10 years ago, we were getting up to like $8,000 to take a load into Boston, Bronx, and they were wanting to pay $3,000 for a load back. Well, there goes your profit. But what I discovered is to find a load that's gonna benefit you. So I found myself bringing loads into the Midwest that were paying more than coming all the way back. So even in the brokerage, you have to do your homework and find a lane what makes sense. So I remember I was getting $3,000 to come to the Midwest, and from the Midwest coming back, I was getting like 3,500. So the going and coming back was actually profitable. But sometimes you can't come straight back where you want to come home at. Same thing like Colorado, for example, is dead coming back to the West Coast. So you're going to have to do something else from Colorado to come back. So there is a lot of homework to be done just for you to find a profit in the industry. So of course, you like you said, this transparency with brokers does help, because if you realize right away that this broker is not working as a partner with you, but actually is trying to use you to benefit from you, why would you want to use them again? So it does help, at least for you to make better educated choices. So it is important. Anybody that is listening and want to participate, just ask for the mic. So you can have a chance to put your input or your opinion on this.
I approved him, but I'm getting ready to kick him too. So go ahead and say your piece.
Well, just in case you weren't aware there, Mike, you also have predatory companies coming in with predatory provisions, allowing the brokers to reclaim any freight losses or damages instead of filing an insurance claim. Were you aware of that?
Do what now? I'm actually hauling oil now, so I mean I gave up the trucking. I'm fighting for everybody else that doesn't give a shit. So there's that.
Oh,
I've secured my family. I don't give a shit what y'all do. Like, it's up to you. I'll put the pieces together and I'll keep on doing what I'm doing. But if you don't want anything done, then just wait for it to happen, because it's going to, and you'll be out of business. I know how to haul oil, so I'm good.
and that's why you're setting your MC aside and I'm not.
I don't need my MC, dude. I make $150,000 a year for hauling somebody else's truck. I take that home, brother. I already told you guys a long time ago.
It's supposed to help the industry.
So, I mean, it's up to you. You can do what you want with it. It's you that's going to be in it. It's you that's going to see 50 cents a load here pretty quick.
And you don't think the carrier you're working for is going to see the same problem?
Nope, I don't. In fact, I know they're not. I'm not working for a carrier. I just told you I'm hauling oil out of the field. I don't have reefer or dry box or flatbed anymore, bud. That's all you. So you can either take what I'm doing and run with it and, understand that I'm trying to do it to fix the industry, not line my pockets anymore. I don't give a shit, dude. Go look. 1395734. It's been shut down, bud. Okay, I don't care. So it's up to you. Keep on taking your cheap freight. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't form unity. And keep on coming in with your stupid ass friends and interrupting our space.
Define
It's up to you,
that.
bud.
I came in with knowledge and you want to pretend that you didn't hear what I just said.
And I asked you and you were a smartass about it. I asked you what you said. See, I'm putting hoses away. I got shit to do. So define what you said.
How much more definition do you need? I literally just told you that there are now
What
brokers
did you
out
say? I
there,
asked you what you said.
and I'm telling you, there are now brokers that
Okay,
are
there's
taking
brokers.
a feel from the TQL playbook, and they're putting in provisions in their rate confirmations, that they can offset a carrier. But since you wanted to ride the coattails and base this whole thing off of this, what are you guys doing differently now? What are you
Doing
doing
it
for the
differently now.
industry right now?
We're trying to form all I'm trying to do. We're trying to get people to get their own loads and get rid of the brokers. We're trying to give them the option to broker their own loads and make that person. And it's all going back to pocket. That's what we've always been trying to do. See, that's what you don't understand. You do not understand what the hell we've been doing from day one.
You know why, Mike? Is because you blocked me.
Well, maybe that's because you put a picture up that was pretty profound, huh?
Yeah,
What
because
picture did you put up of me? Yeah.
yeah,
Why did you do it?
because
Because you're part of the narc crew.
oh,
You're an
so
asshole,
it's
dude.
not
That's all
that
there is
you're
to it.
fucking taking a cock in the fucking love station?
Okay. See, you're so smart. Okay, see ya. You've been blocked. You're gone. And I'm getting rid of Genie in a bottle too before she even comes up. See ya. Report and remove. Let's see. Abusive behavior, sexual content in the room. That was bad for you, dude, because now it's actually timestamped so they can come listen to you say it. All right. Anyway, back to real business. I don't know why you even let them stay in the room.
Anyways, you know what I also learned about myself, reflecting and just talking to you guys, and thank you guys for trying to make a difference here in this industry. Hope is the last thing we lose, right? But you know what? For me, honestly, it's not even about money anymore. I found myself just loving the lifestyle. After 32 years, this is what I want to keep on doing. And even with the challenges that we're facing. So to me, I found out that this is something that I love to do. And for me, it's not even about the numbers anymore because yeah, let's be honest. Sometimes just like you, brother, hauling oil, is profitable and all that. But for me, I'm 57, but I still love to get out there, to feel the snow, the see the rain. So to me, it's a lifestyle. It's not about just money. So this is why it's important for me as well, because I don't want to stop doing what I'm doing. I will do it. I know how to do other things, but this is what I choose to do. So that's the other aspect of the industry. I know, uh, just talking to other people, even people that have retired, they miss truck driving. They miss what they know what to do. They did it for so long that it's in them already. Sometimes by accident we get into a truck just to try it out. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years go by and you realize, man, I was good at this and this is something that I enjoy to do. So that's the other side of the business besides the money, right? That's what I learned about myself.
Oh, I agree. I totally agree. But here's the thing. Those people that I just booted out, they've been fighting us since day one. Now they're starting to find out that these things are against them and they have nowhere to go. Why are they even in here? Like, I've already said it. I have nothing for them. Okay? If they ask me what to do now, I'm going to tell them fail. I don't care. Right? It doesn't matter. I don't care about those people. That guy that I just was talking to, he made a profound picture of two people on camera, okay, behind a dumpster or something, and said that it was me and Chris. Okay, he's the same idiot that called at 2:30 in the morning to wake Mike up, or went onto the webpage, found the webpage, and signed up. Mike wakes me up at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning so that he can, scream at me that I had given out the web page when it wasn't ready. So that guy and me, we have never got along. We never will.
That's okay.
If I catch him in a truck stop, it's going to be a whole different story.
It's okay. So thank you for what you're doing out here. Now, can we go into this topic to try to just rescue this meeting here? Thank you for what you guys doing. Like I said, you guys, my respects to you guys, and thank you because, like you said, you have nothing to lose or gain on it. You just doing it out here in good faith. So appreciate that.
Well, I mean, it's up to everybody else. They've got, a limited amount of days. They should be over there right now, nonstop. I mean, there should be 100,000 comments. I mean, how hard is it to comment that you think that transparency should be law, even though it has been for 40 years? I mean, how hard is that? It's literally like going nowhere. Like, the brokers are more unified than we ever will be.
And you know what I found out? Again, you learn a lot when we had this major group from past, present, and future. You get to interact a lot. When you have 6,000 people involved and you're engaged with them, it gets personal. So you opened up, and one of the things that I did find out exactly what you said. We can't agree on anything. And that has been our downfall because we focus on whether you are from a different age, from a different color, from a different denomination of religion, a different political party. So there's so much division among us. And the brokers know this. So the little that they have to unite, they will unite, which is the bottom number, right? And we can.
Oh no, they've got a whole system. They've got a whole system.
Yes, sir. And we can't unite for anything. And this is why I'm giving this a shot too myself, because I always been on the sidelines, kind of lost faith and trust on anybody that says they want to do something about it. But you know what? You're absolutely right. And we're gonna go back into the diner, and while we having a dinner, we're all gonna brag and to see who's gonna win the pissing contest or who has the most dramatic story out on the road. That's not going to change the industry because all we're doing is putting our ego there and our priorities first without uniting. So to me, this is why I trust you guys. I love you guys and I respect you guys because you guys are trying very hard to unite us.
Well, I thank you for what you've said, but I mean, these guys, they're never going to give up. It's they're not going to give up until they're facing the same thing that a lot of people are facing and saying, "Oh, what do I do now?" And again, like I said, when they have that question right there, okay, when that question comes up, I'm going to tell them, point blank, fail. I don't care. That's what you're going to do. You're going to fail. You didn't want to listen. You didn't want to do anything. You wanted to make stupid pictures. You wanted to be just all out jerk. Meter transaction, OB, observe gravity. Observe gravity. All right, where's the observed gravity at? Observed gravity right there, 49.91. 49.91. Picture. Observed gravity. Picture 158. Yeah. Now we're going to be moving the meeting actually to probably Tuesday or Wednesdays, and we're probably going to be starting a like a meeting type room where we go into actual interview type deal. I've been working on it, but again, what is there a point to it? That's what I want to know. Average temp, same 158. Yes. W. SW is 0.04. Next. Opener. Meter is 361,210. Zero. 16. Housing meter 6. One board. 98. Hopefully it didn't die already.
What's going on, Adam?
2.8 barrels. Okay.
What's going on, Adam?
Seals.
One thing that I read this week was is a young lady that was a carrier from Cheetah something.
Yeah, we know. She they took and what's funny about that is the SPTC actually took the lumper fee and the detention off of the actual bill, which I don't know why you would actually do that to try to figure out what percentage they took, but it lowered it down. So to me, that's not very intelligent, to be honest. I mean, not very intelligent at all.
Well, I don't know if that.
4:30.
I don't know if that 2636 is what the broker invoiced the customer. I tried to ask James Lamb and he hasn't responded. So I don't know if that is what the broker invoiced the customer after the fact or what. Because the customers do, the brokers will invoice the customer after the load's done with the detention, lumper fees, anything like that.
Who is talking?
Larissa.
Oh, okay. So it's in your car.
Another side of transparency, why it matters, to my experience, is that you might have a driver docked for 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 8 hours. And these brokers would tell you, well, you know what, I'm going to give you $40 per hour for detention. But the problem with that is that they might be charging their customer $100 per hour. And they're only giving you $40 that you're wasting your time on while they're probably home. So that is another danger of the transparency thing, because while they're trying to give you $40, $50 for detention, they might be charging their customers $100 per hour. So they might be even benefiting from you sitting on a dock. That is another open window for us to see what they're really giving us versus what they're charging the customer. So it is helpful in that way as well.
Yeah, it is. Americold had told me that they pay $250 to $300 an hour for detention, not to $1,200 for layover.
I already told you what my wife was told when we were calling on that load in Florida. He was charged $1,200.
What happened to Adam? Is it, I can't hear anyone talk.
You still there, Chris?
Yeah, I couldn't hear anyone
Oh,
for a
well,
while.
I read about this court case. Do you have the date when this is supposed to be taking place? TTL versus Cheetah.
I don't know when it's supposed to take place. They haven't they haven't released that info. And I don't think they're going to. I tried to get Pink Cheetah in here, and James Lamb said that she can't do any spaces because of the ongoing case, the ongoing trial.
So she's taking a monster, right? I mean, but it's done. It happened with C.H. Robinson, right? They lost a
No,
major.
they got the transparency from TQO, but that was back in 2023, beginning of 24, maybe. It was right in that time frame.
But they're still refusing to disclose the invoices they requested. So one of the tendencies they have is to block you, to blacklist you if you request such a thing, right?
Yeah, that's so they actually got the FMCSA did force TQL to give up the transparency on it, but and the FMCSA was told TQL they had to take out the waiver, for the carrier to waive their right to the Transparency Act, and as well as a few other things, and they're not doing it. That's what the trial is about.
That's a very important trial because, like you said, they refuse to play by the rules, and
Yeah,
they should be removing this. And then if they remove it, a lot of companies have to remove it as well. So this is very important for us to show some kind of support to the carrier because, to my surprise, it was a young lady out here that was not happy about it, and she's making noise. So that's actually impressive to see.
Yeah, but she waived her rights and then went back on it. And she just filed.
Here's the thing. So any business cannot ask another business to waive their right when it actually hurts their business. That's a federal law. So any brokerage asking a carrier to waive their right to transparency is against the federal law.
So this is what we're going to see in the case, right?
Yep. That's exactly why SBTC and Pink Cheetah is taking it to the Superior Court, if I remember right. I think that's the
Yeah,
court that they're going to. I think it's
yeah,
going to the Federal Superior or
yeah, it's going.
Supreme, one of the two.
Yeah, it's going to the big court. So if she manages to enforce the law, implement it, it would be a major victory for
Yeah,
the
it
small
would
carrier.
for the small carriers and the independents. Yes, the owner operators.
Who knows exactly the root of it? Was it because she was unhappy the way an invoice turned out to be?
No, because SBTC has actually been trying to get the transparency enforced since like 2018, and FMCSA keeps pushing it down the road on doing anything with it. But now that we made such a stink about it, now they're really looking into it because now they're seeing what we've been talking about.
How long was this fight? You can estimate the noise of having the government reinforcing their own laws. How long do you estimate people making a move into whether the White House or through the some independent government officials? How long do you think this fight has been going on, to your opinion?
On the transparency, it's been going on since 2018.
So it took 7 years.
Yeah. In the last 3 years, we got loud about it. And that's exactly why it's getting noticed.
Now we have a new president or new head of Federal Motor Carrier Administration, right?
Yeah, no one's been appointed in the FMCSA yet. Lee
So this
Schmidt.
is like a perfect time to see what this new one's gonna do, right? So this is a perfect time for us to push, keep on pressing, right?
Yep. Lee Schmidt is actually trying to get into that position of the FMCSA.
What?
No. Sorry, guys.
Why do you think the representative has so many issues? Because I remember at least two of them. It was a lady maybe not too long ago, and then this other appointee maybe lasted what, like 3 years, 2 years, and now we don't have one. What's going on with the Federal Motor Carrier Administration?
Well, there's one that's appointed. I can't remember his name. Lee, who's running the FMCSA right now? I can't remember his name.
For you.
Yeah, go for it.
Vin White's running it right now. In the last 25 years, there has been 19 administrators. 6 have been appointed. The rest of them have just been moved up into that position. Every single one of them has been a bureaucrat. None of them has driven a truck.
That says a lot, right? That is a lot. Now,
In 25 years, to have 19 different administrators in 25 years, yeah.
that is a lot.
And
So,
part of it could be because they don't understand the industry. So when Congress actually does their job and calls them in front of them and rips on them because they're not doing anything that they're supposed to do, might be part of the reason they're leaving. We know Ray Martinez left because he said he couldn't get things done fast enough. That was one of his reasons.
maybe we need to find somebody that feels the pain from the industry, and maybe we need to maybe create a nomination for this one qualified individual that understands the office and the field at the same time. Because wow, if most of these representatives don't understand the field, that is not good for us, right? Because there truly you have no true representation.
Correct. My resume is sitting in Florida and DC. I've sent everything to the transition team, to the president, to Sean Duffy, the head of the DOT, to seek that nomination from the president with driving since the 80s out here and an owner operator. So my resume and everything is sitting there. I'm just waiting.
Wow. So what can we do to try to be behind you?
Reach out to your senator, because when Trump appoints the position, it's done. After that, then I have to go through Senate confirmation. One way would be reach out to your senator and push for a driver to be in that position. Send letters to Trump on whitehouse.gov. That's the only way you can get to him, unless you want to send them by snail mail to DC. But he receives letters on whitehouse.gov.
Is there a way you can put a link here on this chat here? Because I know Chris has been able to put like that video up, for example. Uh, Maybe if you leave us that information, maybe we can do what we can here individually, and maybe be able to share this information to try to help you out, as far as helping you out and helping each other out by having the right individual representing us.
Yeah, I'm going to see if Lisa can put the link on here. I have a change.org petition on our page, and we were looking to try to get everybody to sign that. And then we were going to turn that into the president also to say, look, this is, drivers are okay with this.
Have you tried to put this petitions on trucking groups as well?
Yes. Yes, she has.
Great. I know petitions work well, because I know that young man out there in Colorado with that accident. I forget, but I forget if it was 2 million or 4 million signatures in a petition that helped him tremendously. So I know petitions work well.
Right. We're just asking people to sign the petition and do not donate, because after that it says, would you donate to help the cause? No, don't donate. That is just change.org asking for money, not me. I'm just asking for a signature.
Good to know. And I'm sorry to ask here because I don't know. Are you Lee?
I am Lee Schmidt. You can go to our page, Trucking Across America with the Schmidts, on TikTok, X, and there's all kinds of videos explaining all kinds of things on there.
Yeah, I'm sorry, never heard of this before, but this is a great move, and good luck to you, sir. And you going back to the '80s behind the wheel. Definitely, you have the experience. You have the growing pains involved, and it hits home. So there's nothing like it when you have somebody that's been behind the wheel that knows the in and outs and the the challenges behind it. It totally has a different mentality. So my respects to you and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
So whatever you put here on if whatever you have here, put your wife or whatever, or even in this group that pastime, you have that information. I do my best. I'm just new at this, and I believe the whole group is new at this. Uh, I have access to another group, I believe, with like 200,000 members on it. I try to do what I can to put it there, but I'm not the greatest with technology. So that's why if you can leave something here where I can just Google you or look you up and try to put things together, try to get these petitions going, or even if you send this petition straight to me and I can just share it, that'd be great because that's what we're here for, to unite and to make a difference. Me personally, I'm tired of the complaining and the diner talk. You know about it, and we never did anything. So right here is doing things that makes a difference, uniting to make a difference for the well-being of everybody out here, regardless of our own personal beliefs and opinions. For the whole industry as a whole, this is where it's at. So uh, thank you for again for if you have the chance to leave some information. I try to do as much as I can with it. Uh, but thank you and
My,
good luck with that.
thank you. Lisa's in another space right now. I screenshotted who you are on X, and she's going to send you the information direct. I don't know how to do it. I just drive the
Oh,
truck.
thank you for saying that. I'm not the only one then. I can relate. I'm the same way. Yeah, Chris never mentioned that to me. I didn't know how long you've been doing this, or since when have you been trying to get appointed for the Federal Motor Carrier?
Am I unmuted? As soon as Trump got in, we sent a letter when the election was over. I sent my resume and all kinds of different information. I've been fighting against the government trying to get shit changed since 2017. Gone back and forth to DC at least 7 times. Testified in front of the TRB. We've been trying to get stuff done and can't get shit done in DC because it takes too long. So this is the best way we feel that we can try to get something done.
Man, it's good to hear from you and good to hear that you are actually trying to do things because, like I said, you know, the industry is nothing but just complaining and opinions, but nobody has done much, right, since the regulation. So to hear you, I feel bad because our group was hijacked and we had over 600,000 driver owner operators engaging in this type of conversations and never heard of you before. And I feel bad that I didn't hear from you before to be able to promote this petition or support you. But I'm glad you're doing it.
All right. Lisa said, look in the fill underneath. Don't scream at me. What is it called? The pill. The purple pill. The purple pill. She said the link is shared there.
Oh, got you. Okay, that's great. That's great. We will do this, and I hope everybody that is listening, uh, try to engage and help this brother get appointed, at least to be considered, because we need somebody with experience, somebody that feels the pain and actually that cares for the industry as a whole. Uh, I know as we kind of grow, it might make a bigger impact, but I know a lot of these brothers and sisters here in this space care, and they also want to unite. So it's actually a pleasure just to hear what you're doing. And I wish I would have known earlier, when we had more of the power with the mass influence. But we can still do it, and we can still try to help you out, so you can help us out.
Yeah. I appreciate it. Sorry,
Well,
I didn't mean to hijack your thing, Justice.
no, you're good. I brought you up. I invited you up. Um, you got more knowledge on that side, anyways. So it's better it come from you. That's that's exactly why I brought you up. But we do have to wrap up. Um, sorry, I haven't been in the space and been kind of distant, but I'm at home trying to get family time in, trying to get things done, and still do this at the same time. So there's that. Any last words, anyone? No one else has anything to close out with?
Just as a quick reminder, Chris, if you can, if you know this brother here trying to get to the Federal Motor, maybe you can share his information that Lisa, or I believe it's Lisa and his wife, had just shared here on the space. Maybe you can put it in our group, so I can also share with the Spanish part of side of it as well, and maybe we can start sharing it. And anybody that is listening, share it to help this brother out, so he can help the industry out. And me as somebody out here and being nobody, just in the group, I want to just thank everybody, because I noticed a lot of them stood around and stuck around even throughout the challenges we had at the beginning. So thank you all for your patience and for hanging around.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody coming in. American Trucker, you're late. I've just seen you come in. We're just closing out. You got any last words, pastime? I guess he's busy or doesn't have nothing. But I watch out for my posts, because, like pastime was saying earlier, we're probably going to start doing these on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. But anyways, yeah, just watch out for my posts. I'll post them up when we're going to do the next space. Ignacio, I'll get a hold of you on the back end.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks,
All right.
guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Good night.